Cha Eun-woo cried when faced with the reality of marriage. He was still so young, unprepared for the responsibility it brought. He felt overwhelmed and confused about what this meant for him. Cha Eun-woo was scared of having to make commitments and take on a huge responsibility. He questioned whether he would be capable of providing for a family. He was filled with heartache and doubts as he cried over the prospect of marriage. He worried if he would be a good husband or be able to provide for his future family. Tears streamed down Cha Eun-woo's cheeks as he thought about the decisions he'd have to make. He felt a mix of fear, disbelief, and sadness. He was scared to commit himself to such an important decision in life. His tears were a sign of his inner turmoil and his uncertainty about the future. He asked himself questions like, "Am I ready for this? And what if I'm not capable of this?" He didn't feel ready and he wasn't sure how to handle it. The thought of marriage and having a family was an unfamiliar and frightening concept to Cha Eun-woo. He wanted to be able to provide for his family and be a good husband. Cha Eun-woo thought about all the people who seemed to have it easier when it came to marriage. He felt like he was behind and it was causing a lot of anxiety. He wanted to be a good husband and father but felt like he wasn't ready yet. He started to cry out of fear and worry. Marriage seemed like a huge demand and he had no idea if he was up for it. He felt so much pressure and was unsure if he'd be able to handle it all. He was asking himself questions like, "Is marriage really for me? Will I be able to provide for my future family? Can I handle all the responsibility?" Cha Eun-woo cried, feeling the pressure of the situation and his lack of experience and understanding of marriage. He thought to himself, "Am I ready to make this commitment? Will I be able to provide for my future family?" He was scared of taking on such a huge responsibility. He questioned if he would be able to handle all the changes that come with marriage. Cha Eun-woo was overwhelmed and unable to cope with the thought of taking on the responsibilities of marriage. He was scared and unsure of the future. He had no idea if he would be able to make the necessary changes to become a successful husband and father. He cried as he acknowledged his lack of experience and uncertainty about marriage. He felt unprepared for what lay in front of him. He was uncertain about taking on the role of a husband and father and felt overwhelmed thinking about what was expected of him. He felt so lost and broken during this emotional time. He was deeply conflicted about making such an important decision that would change his entire life. Cha Eun-woo felt so much pressure from society and his own expectations of marriage and family. He questioned if he was ready to take on such a big commitment. He was crying because he knew he was not ready for something as big as marriage. His uncertainty and fear were weighing heavily on him. He wanted to be ready and prove himself capable of taking on the responsibility, but he wasn't sure if he had the strength. Marriage was a foreign concept to Cha Eun-woo and it filled him with anxiety and uncertainty. He was scared to make a commitment and take on such a big responsibility. Cha Eun-woo was conflicted about marriage. He He felt like he was not ready yet, but he was scared of the implications and expectations of marriage. He was crying and questioning if he would ever be ready for this and if he was capable of handling the immense responsibility.